Hello everyone. Today we are going to implement crashing down of the helicopter. So if the helicopter continue to get damage, for example by colliding the blades like this, after a while it will have enough damage and start crashing down like this. So let's see how to implement this effect today. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support. Okay, so to implement crashing, I'll first create a suitable smog effect, and I already have this helicopter smog effect that I have created previously for the helicopter dust when we take off here. This effect. So actually I showed how to implement that effect in a previous episode, so I'll just duplicate this one. I'm gonna modify the same thing to make it look like a black smoke that is suitable when the helicopter is damaged and crashing down. I'll name it damaged. I think just one emitter should be enough. Yeah, and I'll set the velocity direction to X direction. Okay. Right, and change the velocity something in between -500 and 500. Okay, and this doesn't look like a damaged one. Gravity on. Let's try 500. And what else? Scale. Scale sprite size. Let's reduce this to something like 10. And let me increase the drag, so decrease the drag a bit, so we can see more spreading of the smoke. Right. Also, I think we should reduce the cone handler. Right. Now we need to change the color to make it look more like a damaged flame with black smoke. So for that, let's add a color. Let's change this to a curve. Right. So to make it look more like smoke, damaged smoke, we need to have some red. Not this red that is closer to orange. Okay, and then here black. Initially it should be white. black is not visible enough. Alright, that's better. Small right. Let's try 200. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. Now let's put this in the helicopter. Where should we put it? Select this and let's add it under mesh. I'll put it somewhere like here. Right, and this should be activated only when the helicopter is damaged. So actually I'm gonna implement damaging when for now, when let's implement it with the custom key input for testing, but I will make it damage when it get hit or when the blades hit some other object, something like that. I will implement in future, but for now let's implement key event C for crash. I'll make this when it's damaged, disable auto activate, and when I press C, I'll damage it. I'll add a boolean value crashing. When I press C, I'll set crashing to true. I will use it to determine if the helicopter is crashing. We have to disable inputs and move the helicopter down and finally destroy it. And then I'll activate the damaged smog by inactivate. Also I need to disable player inputs, so because after the helicopter is damaged, I should not be able to control. Okay, let's do this for now and see. Okay, when I press C, okay, smoke starts appearing. Alright, now the helicopter should crash down. To implement that, we need to implement helicopter rotating uncontrollably as well. We need some comments. Crash, because it's hard to see what's going on in this view. This is dust. We have this turn event. If I promote this part to a macro, I would be able to reuse it to turn the helicopter. Let's do that. Turn this to a macro. Oh, wait. We need an output from this macro as well. So let's add a reroute node like this. Okay, collapse to macro. I call it turn M. So here what it does is, let me rename this input, turn input. So when the helicopter is crashing, we should automatically turn the helicopter. So now in the tick, this is when the helicopter is flying. Let me collapse this. Fly. Let's have another branch and use this crashing. If it is not crashing, it is flying. If it is crashing, let's add turn with an input 5.1, and also it should fly down, move down as well. So to do that, we need to add a moment input, a downward moment input. Add moment input, downward, how much? Let's say 0.5. Okay, let's see. Let me put this in on top of this cube, so that we should be able to test this easily. Okay, let's move forward and press C. Wait, are we moving up? This should be a minus. And why turning is not working? Let's increase this turning value, maybe -1. Oh, that it doesn't matter as long as the value is large. And also I'll add some movement in horizontal direction as well, maybe 1 in the X direction, I don't know, let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna press C. Okay, helicopter is rotating and I can't control, it's moving down. Okay, so I think, oh, actually this one should be -1 and scale, we should use scale to control the speed, and once it hit the floor it should explode, And also while crashing down, it needs to have some randomness in its body, and we have used this part to give some random movement to the helicopter body. So I think we can reuse the same thing for crashing down part as well. Let's add it, copy the same thing, and here we can have a large range. Let's say -50, -20 to +20. Let's try. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and when it touch the ground, it should explode. So to implement that, where do we have the play detector? Yeah, ground detector. We have this object that we use to detect landing. Here, let's have a branch. If it is crashing, we should explode the helicopter. So to explode, how do we explode? First we need a destructible mesh here. Let me open the helicopter mesh. Okay, let's create a static mesh in the helicopter. SM helicopter. Okay, now using that, here I should be able to create a destructible mesh, but for that we need to enable destruction. I'm going to use this apex destruction because this chaos is still beta, and we have to restart the editor. Okay, restarted. Let me open the previous assets. Create destructible mesh. Okay, this is dark. Oh. Let's fracture it and see what happens. Fracturing in progress, that's why we get this. Editor is frozen. Okay, fracturing done. Here is the parts. Alright, I think that should do. Now let's add that. How should we do that? Let's, where is crash detection happen again? right, ground detection. Okay, here I'll add it to once node and add destructible component. Select the 𝐂𝐚𝐴 DM. What are these extra materials? Let's ignore it for now. And as the relative transform, I'll give the exact transform of the helicopter. Oh wait, maybe we could have this by default. Where is it? Why isn't it visible? Why is this not visible? Do I have to restart the map or something? Right, now it's visible in the editor, in the blueprint, but not in the editor for some reason. Not in the map. Anyway, wait, let me try something. Let me delete this and add again. Sometimes that works. That works. Okay, anyway, this doesn't have to be visible in the beginning, so I'll make it invisible. Does that cause any collisions? Oh, we have to process it. It is causing collisions, but we can disable it. No collision. Okay, so when the helicopter crash, let's hide the actual mesh and make the destructible mesh visible. Visible and the mesh set visible to hidden and apply damage. How much? I'm not sure. 500, 500. Or 10, let's see. Heterogen. Get the location. Let's try that. Let's crash it and see what happens. Oh, it fell down. Yeah. Set collision enabled. Destructible. Let's leave it enabled and disable through the port and re-enable here. So in the begin play, I'll disable it. To no collision. Okay, alright, I reduce these values a bit, and also we need to disable, let me collapse this, exploit. We need to disable this damaged particle. Deactivate. And also we need the explosion effect as well, but we don't have one. I need to import one. So I imported this explosion particle effect. Compile shaders. I'm not going to implement it here from scratch because it will take a long time. It will take time, so I'm just going to use this one. You can use any explosion effect you have. Maybe I'll cover how to implement this from scratch later on. Right, here is the effect. Still some shaders are compiling. Okay, hold on. Right, so when the helicopter crash, I'll system at location, and I'll use NS explosion. As for the location, I'll use mesh world location. Oh wait, no, let's get some socket locations. chopper root. Let's copy this. Get one subcut location. And make some randomness. Random point in bounding box. Minus 200, 200. 50. Okay, and we need to play a sound as well. I'm going to play the sound in the same location, and I have imported a couple of sounds. These sounds. Let me create a loop Q here. Explosion Q. And I'll add this through two other sounds as well, and play them randomly. I'll use attenuation setting that I already have in the project. Generate explosion. Oh no. Explosion Q. And if I convert this to a macro, we can call this multiple times. So that we can have two different explosions. I had the random delay, not random, like 0.2 seconds. Right, now let's see. And let's crash it. I don't think I heard the sound. That's the sound. Why didn't I hear it? Let's use actor location. And also I have imported this sound. This has to loop. I'll play that sound also when the helicopters start going down. this is not. Crash down. This also need to have a dimension. And attach component mesh. Crash sound. And I'll stop it when the helicopter crashed down and explode. I'll stop both sounds actually. This one. And also the crash sound. Can I use the same node? Seems I can. Okay. Also, I'll change this order a bit. I'll stop this NS helicopter as well, just in case. Alright, so here is the final version. Oh, not the final version. Right, actually I was able to find out that actual the sudden explosion, suddenly moving away the debris very fast, that's because of the collisions of these other components. So I just disabled the collisions of those components before enabling the destructible mesh. So now it looks better actually. So here is the final version. Let me crash. That's the version. So I need to increase the size of the explosion a bit. They look very small. Unit vector. No. Map vector 111 and multiply it with the random float in range, say 4 and 5, and also not large enough. 15, 10, 12. This still wasn't large enough. Why? Are these GPU particles? Maybe the emitter is hidden inside the model. So let's add the explosion on somewhere like here. Super root. Let's add root. Sorry. Right, actually I replaced the I changed the particle effect. Here is the preview. Okay, and I disconnected this scaling part as well because that's not required. And the other thing is, now we should implement a natural wave destroy instead of just pressing a key. So for that we can use this blade damaging here. I'll implement a variable for health. This should be a float. By default I'll make it 100. And every time this blade collide, I'll reduce the health. Decrement, so decrement float. Let me undo print as well just to see how fast it drains. I think that's too slow actually. So I'll set the total health to 20, and if it drops below 0, let's add a branch and call this crash. I'll create a custom event, crash. Yeah, I'll let it do once node as well, because we can crash only once. Hopefully this will be the final review. If everything is working as expected, we can end this episode right here. Why is it not? Oh, sorry, we didn't call this crash custom event yet. Okay, let's see now. Okay, one more thing. This check dust should be disabled if we are crashing. So crashing should be not. And the final preview. Okay, here I am going to stop this episode, and project files will be available for the download in Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. See you in another episode. Goodbye.